Gomez and company welcome former SU quarterback Eric Dungey thanks to Liverpool Pool and Spa on the flagship station of SU football, TK99 and TK105.
The big game tonight, a 7:30 kickoff is the Orange prep for Stanford coming to the JMA Wireless Dome. Former SU quarterback Eric Dungey joining us live from Oregon. Eric, good morning. Highlight of your week so far. What's it been for you?
You know what? Honestly, this week has been pretty boring. Usually I'm out and about. Been spending a lot of time at home recovering. Can't drive still. So highlight of my week, my buddies came over last night. We watched some Thursday night football. And that's been the highlight. But I think tonight will be a lot of fun. Anytime I can watch a Syracuse game, it's going to make for a good night.
Now, the Thursday night NFL game, I saw a couple of the highlights. I saw that it was like an uncomfortable hug and shove between Aaron Rodgers and his coach there. And I know after the game they kind of addressed that. But was that just like a mistaken moment from fans watching that? Like, hey, what's going on there? Or did you see that?
I think Aaron Rodgers and Coach Saleh have such a good relationship that, Coach Saleh was obviously pumped about, the score. And Aaron's basically job's not done. It's very early. A lot of game left. Anything can happen. But, just watching Aaron Rodgers quarterback is so much fun. He's just got so much knowledge. And I think he's physically, it's impressive watching him now. He's throwing the ball with a lot of zip, making some great throws. Him and Garrett Wilson, once they get on the same page, it's going to be really dangerous. I think Jets are finally starting to become some contenders after years and years of Jets fans just really taking the brunt of it. But I think they have an actual shot this year, especially if Aaron stays healthy. The way he's able to command a game is really impressive, and they're just going to get better and better throughout the year.
On to the task at hand for Coach Fran Brown in the Orange tonight, the first ever meeting between Syracuse and Stanford, and a chance to go 2-0 in a conference 3 games into the season. That's kind of a nice little head start if that were to happen for the team.
Oh, definitely. I wish we could have played Stanford and Cal when I was playing. I always wanted to play a West Coast team, and granted, Stanford's coming to the Dome, but for me, it would be a personal game. I think, growing up on the West Coast, Stanford was definitely one of those schools that every kid looked at. I remember, I would send them all the recruiting letters and I could and they never really gave me the time of the day. So for me, I'm hoping that Syracuse goes in there and blows the brakes off of them. And I think they should win commandingly. I think Kyle McCord has been cooking at a high level. That defense is just going to get stronger and stronger. And I think people got to realize as well, this is a first-year head coach. This is a first-year head coach coming in and getting this amount of success right off the bat. It's truly impressive, and it's only up from here. You saw what he was able to do recruiting-wise, bringing in a bunch of, high-touted recruits, 4 stars and, 3 stars that Syracuse hasn't really seen in a long time. And this is going to continue to build that base, especially if they're bringing in some wins, bringing in some success. Then more and more people are going to want to start to join that and jump on the train. But it had to start somewhere, and Coach Brown has really put basically all of his eggs into Kyle McCord's basket, and it's paying off so far. And I think it's just really, really hopeful and optimistic for this season.
I heard on one of our sister station on ESPN yesterday, Don McPherson was one of the guests, and he called it an attitude game. It's one of those games on paper, okay, they should win it. I think they're an 8.5-point favorite, and the gut feeling is that it'll be hopefully much more than that as far as win. But Don said for him, when he played in these types of games, it was for him and the team, it was an attitude game. Does that make sense to you, Eric, when you hear that put it that way?
No, definitely. It's like all eyes on us, and I think Syracuse has started to kind of ruffle some feathers around the not only the ACC but around the nation, and people are starting to turn their head and they're like, all right, what's going on over here in Upstate? I think a lot of the times they saw some quick success at Syracuse and then it would fizzle out, but I think this year it's different. From top to bottom on this roster, offensively, defensively, and special teams, they are very, very talented, and our ones and now our backups are actually solid as well. So if somebody does go out, there's a guy that's coming in. He's more than capable to make those plays and step up. So I think it's a different time now, and it's an attitude game. You got to go in and you got to really just take it to Stanford and show them. I mean, Stanford is they're a solid team, middle of the pack in the Pac-12, and now that they're in the ACC, it's time to welcome them and show them, hey, this is different kind of ball out here, and especially coming to the Dome, I think it's going to be rocking, and it's going to be a Friday night, going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully, it can get loud and send them on a long 6-hour plane ride back down to California.
And it is kind of weird that Syracuse Stanford is a conference game, just when you say it out loud, because of the way conference alignment has changed over the past couple of years. But like I said, Cal's in there too, and UNLV, so it's a whole new Wild West of college football.
It is a Wild West, and I'm actually excited. I'm going down to the UNLV game. West Coast game, so I had to make an effort to get down there, and still got to get out to a Syracuse game. So hoping to I can make that work in November or something. But I'm excited to watch Syracuse live down in UNLV. But as of this week, gonna watch them tonight, and then Holy Cross next week, which obviously should be just a little tune-up game, and then going 4-0. And UNLV's they're a pretty serious team as well. They're starting to get some eyes and getting some people to look at them as well. I think they're just a really gritty team. Not always the cleanest, not always the most disciplined, but they find a way to win. So I think that could be a really interesting game for Syracuse if they're both 4-0, if they go into that 2 undefeated teams, and really going to be fun to watch. So.
Is there anything that the Syracuse should watch out for tonight against Stanford? I know we feel good about it, and everything you said is true. They've really got everything firing on all cylinders. But if there was one thing to keep an eye on, what would that be for you?
I think it's just the discipline. I think just making sure you're not making those mental mistakes. I think that's going to be the only thing that's going to stop Syracuse is Syracuse. Just making sure that we're playing clean football. Limiting the offsides, false starts, the illegal formations. Any holdings or pass interferences that could really just change the outcome of a game. Don't let Stanford get a chance. Don't let Stanford get a heartbeat to think that they have a chance in the game. So I think for Syracuse, it's just playing clean football, because Stanford, I believe, will be disciplined. That is the one thing about them. They're gonna make the right calls and do the right thing there, and that's the way that their brand is built. But I think they're gonna make some plays offensively. They do got some big receivers. They got a really talented dual threat quarterback who I think wants to run more than he wants to pass. So if you can make him stay in the pocket, make him uncomfortable, and really just cover downfield and make him make those throws, then I think Syracuse will be in for a successful night. And then offensively, they just got to keep doing what they've been doing. I think Kyle McCord will continue to make the right plays, continue to get the ball into these playmakers' hands, and then hopefully we can just ice them out with LaQuint Allen in the fourth quarter. Let LaQuint get the ball and just get those hard 6-7 yard runs and just really wear down this Stanford defense, because those big guys up front are going to get tired from running side to side and trying to chase down these the receivers when they get downfield. So for Syracuse, just playing clean, playing smart, and playing discipline.
What day or when will you find out that you can drive again? Like sometime soon, hopefully?
I will likely be able to drive next week.
Where's the first place you're going?
Appointment, so hoping for some good news. And my first question is, hey, when am I going to be able to golf? When am I going to be able to get back working out? That's my first question.
Eric, good stuff as always, and stay well. We'll talk to you on Monday, and hopefully we're talking about a nice, impressive win tonight over Stanford. Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.